Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream today. It's Miriam, and I'm back with another amazing founder. Today, we're chatting with Swarna, founder and CEO at MagicPolygon. Over 12 years of experience in field of software engineering. Most recently, she has been working on MagicPolygon, it's an ed tech app for youth and families in schools to read interactive stories, make up their own stories, and learn. So it's going to be an exciting chat. If you have questions, just drop them down below and we'll see them pop right up during the live stream. So welcome, Swarna. Good morning to you. Thanks for making time.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I feel very happy to be part of your show, and I would love to share my experiences. Thank you so much.
Hi. Oh, that's adorable. That's literally the best thing ever.
I know summer holidays are here, so he's at home. I told him not to come. Somehow he feels.
He's like, you meant come over and join the live stream, Mom?
Yeah, he can. Sometimes he might talk some things. So I just want him to stay inside the home.
No, that's great. I love it. I love kids. Well, let's talk a little bit about your journey. Let's bring people up to speed. I mean, you have so much experience, developer, programmer, system analyst, team lead, tech, just really building things in Android and other apps. And what kind of brought you to this point where you're doing MagicPolygon?
Okay. As you have already mentioned, I'm a software engineer, and my specialization is mobile apps. I've been working in mobile apps for a long, long time, even before Android or any smartphone platforms came into picture. So I've been working in mobile platform for a long time, and once Android and iOS and all those things came, like it changed how apps are consumed by users. I was really fascinated by how apps are used by people and how developers can make their dream into a live app. That was pretty much fascinating to me. And I was working in mobile apps for a long time, and I worked with various companies like Motorola, Samsung, iHeartRadio, and my recent job was with Peloton. I was one of their very first engineers, and I played a major role in bringing up and building the product. And while I was working in Peloton, like my son was born. He was around 2.5 years old. Then I started telling stories and reading books to him. And there was a point where I was just telling a picture book to him, something like a Jack and the Beanstalk story. So while narrating the story, it was a picture book. I was not really reading. I was showing the picture and narrate and telling the story, just like many parents do.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a bit skeptical with that story when the protagonist was stealing and all those things. I wasn't really very sure, like, how to introduce such a thing to a very young kid who doesn't even understand. And morally also, like, I felt like I wasn't very, I was concerned about that. So I just changed the story a little bit according to my ideas or whatever, my perspectives, and all those things, and then narrated the full story. And I was very curious, how other parents are doing with their kids. I was pretty sure that, like, people would be changing or narrating in their own way, adding their perspective, their cultural roots and everything in any story that they are telling to their kids. It might be a Western story or a folk tale or Indian folktale or African folktale or whatever may be the story. We try to inculcate the culture, the roots. So I was very curious, like, how others are telling. So I started watching like how my husband is narrating the same story to him, and he was focusing on the fantasy part, like the golden eggs and all those things. He narrated the story in such a way that the focus was towards the fantasy part. So I realized that it's not a story. story reading and storytelling especially for kids, are completely different. Storytelling has the perspective of the person who's telling the story. The story could be the same story, but you could, when telling the story, you could actually inculcate your perspectives, your culture, your focus points, and align the story and take it in such a way that it feels like a completely different story, even though the core story is the same. So that's when I realized that stories are same, but the perspectives could be different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an immigrant. My mom and my in-laws and everyone are living in India. So I wanted to, and also as a child, I grew up listening to a lot of stories. So I wanted to see like how, what if a child um, gets a platform where they can listen to stories from anyone who the
Mm-hmm.
parent trusts, like anyone, any good storytellers in the family or in the friend circle. If they could listen from all the best storytellers within the network or within the trust, then it would be awesome. It's like in a family, like you're listening to your grandma and listening to your um, other siblings who are telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when, like, distance should not be a problem when for kids to listen to listen to stories from various people. So that's when I started looking, is there anything that is available right now which caters to this perspective. I couldn't really find anything that that was catering to the idea which was in my mind. So that was the spark for Magic Polygon.
Very
And
interesting.
thank you.
And it's uh I love that you're focusing in on people can create their own story within that. Because, first of all, my first children's book allows the child to create their own ending, so I love that. And I think that people should learn about being creative and owning their own story and their own journey and creating whatever life that they want. So doing that through reading is really cool that you're doing that. So if I record a story for someone that I know, a child, I'm like in their approved circle, can other random people, like kids on the app, listen to my story too, or it's just
Oh,
my story kept for that approved group?
okay. It's something like the parents have to approve. The parents are the people who have to approve, like who can tell stories to their kids.
Yeah.
Usually, the app works in such a way that the parents will send an email invite, inviting someone as a storyteller to their children. So once they invite and you accept the invite, then you become an authenticated or authorized storyteller for the children. So it could be like any parent who approves you as a storyteller. To
Hmm.
all the kids, you can tell the story. It works like that.
Okay, great. Very good. I see people are tuned in. Please just say hello in the comments. We want to know who's here. Let us know. Just say hi or whatever
Hi.
that you're watching. Love that. What about the name Magic Polygon? Where does that inspiration come from? How did you do that?
There's no major thing. The main reason was the story is itself is a magical experience, and I felt like the concept, the everything in the picture can be described in a triangle or a polygon or something like that. So it's like a magical screen or something like that. So that's why the name. So
All right. And you've been bootstrapping this startup, working as well at another job, and then are no?
No, I left my job in 2016
Mm-hmm.
to start this. In fact, I tried a part time earlier, even before starting Magic Polygon. It didn't really work out for me, so I felt like even if when I do a part time, I was more into the I was more working like a full time person. So I thought like it's better to quit and start whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want to do. So I quit Peloton in 2016, and I took a break for like 3 to 4 months. um, thank you. And then I took a break for 3 to 4 months, and then I started working on this app.
Okay. Looks like we've got a comment here. Really, all parents looking at this kind of app, which will help the kids' imagination and creative. Oh, wow. Very good. I agree with you. It's great to see you here, Brahma. And we do want to take a moment to just say, at least I do, that, we are thinking of your family in India and everyone in India right now during this time, of course. So, um, so you are bootstrapping this, working on it full time. Will you go and raise VC? Will you do crowdfunding? Are you just going to bootstrap it? What's the plan that you're exploring?
Okay, so I started this app with bootstrapping. I want to do organic growth. Actually, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's there in my plan. So that's why, even though there are a lot of ideas and features that can come into where I can improve the app a lot, but I'm currently focusing on organic growth, where I get more subscribers so that I can validate this concept more, and then look into um, look into the future. That's what I'm thinking. In fact, I planned for a crowdfunding campaign. I haven't started. I'm still thinking whether to do or not. I planned for a crowdfunding campaign with iFund Women.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, uh, I might do, but
Yeah.
I'm unable to say at this point of time.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm looking into schools and individual parents for the app to take it forward more.
Mm-hmm. Just a side question. As someone who, are you full blown? Can you get government contracts? Are you eligible for government contracts and things of that nature? Have you looked at that?
That's a good question. That is something that haven't fully explored. I think there are some support for women-founded companies from the government, like female-founded companies. I first, I think I need to go through that process of first certifying my company as a female-founded company,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably I'll look into that part. But one thing I'm really looking for is getting into the public school system. Like, say for example, right now I'm living in New York. I know I recently moved to New York, so I know the school district uses iPad for the uh, uh, kids at school, especially
Mm-hmm.
the elementary school kids. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, like, if I could get into this particular school district and get my app to be used in the school, I think that would be a great opening for me to spread the word across you easily. That is something I'm
Yeah.
working towards it.
Okay, great. Well, that just made me think of something. We just partnered with my brother's company to do a pop-up store in New York. We're at Madison Avenue, 400 Madison Avenue. We
Wow.
have, all the Bootstrap Publications books there. All of our partner books are in there too. And I want to connect you with him. Perhaps you can go and do a
Exactly, that would be
pop-up.
awesome, actually. That
Yeah,
would
and
be
just
awesome.
teaching people as they come in, like, hey, look, this is how you use this app, blah, blah, blah. Could be good for
Yeah.
that organic growth. um, so how do authors that are out there that may be watching, we're streaming to the Bootstrap Publications playlist here for YouTube. Where do they, let's say I have a book, I want to get it into this digital app, Magic Polygon. How do I go about doing that?
Exactly. So that is something that we are also working towards it right now. I'm having one author. She is writing the scenes and descriptions for all the illustration that we create. But going forward, we want to collaborate with many authors. So we want to do something like something similar to the dashboard or something, where it is in progress right now. We don't have that setup, but we are moving towards that one, where we work with the author. We bring their books to Magic Polygon. Depending on the number of reads,
Mm-hmm.
we could give a part of subscription fee to the authors, so that it's like a win-win for both. both
Mm.
MagicPolygon and the authors. That is something the back end and the tech support for that is in progress. So hoping by the end of this year, probably we'll have something so we can bring in more authors. But
Mhm.
the other thing, apart from that, we also want to support something like we can do a live streaming. The authors can do a live streaming session on our app, like reading their book in their own voice, so the kids can
Mm.
listen to it. So they
Mhm.
need not put the book inside in the app. Just for that session, we'll have that book, and it's like a marketing, so that you could spread the word to the you can spread the word to the parents, so that, oh,
Mhm.
this is a new book, oh, the content is so nice, so it's so good book, so they are motivated to buy. That is something that we are looking into, like how to do that kind of thing. um
Beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
sign me up for that. Especially there's a little button you can click that leads them directly to purchase the book. And then
yes.
I don't know if there's a way to then give Magic Polygon a portion of sales of the book.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we were yet to figure out, like once they purchase, like there should be a way to for us to know, like, okay, whether the purchase was complete, and then something that we can figure that out. Those are the things that we are looking into. But we
Hmm.
definitely want to feature authors. Say for example, like there is a local bookstore in Hoboken. I mean, I used to live in New Jersey a couple of months ago. So
Yeah.
there is a local bookstore. It's a very in Hoboken. They support local authors in the community. So what they do is, like, local authors in the community come to the bookstore, and and they read a story to the book to the children, and they usually the store does an Instagram live.
Cute.
So which I felt like it's not so good experience, in the sense that the kids are unable to see the book properly because the author has to hold the book,
Yeah.
and it does not actually give the real experience. So then I'm thinking, like, if Magic Polygon has all the potential to support author reading a book live to the kids, so they came in. That is something we want to test out with the authors and see how it works, and then probably we there are two routes, as you said. Like, one is they're placing the books in the Magic Polygon app, and the second one is the supporting the authors to tell a live story through the app to all the kids.
Yeah. I mean, so many things you can do with technology. It's really quite exciting. How do you decide what features you're going to build and what you're going to focus on? Talk us through some of the challenges of building mobile apps. Everyone wants to build an app, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, being a software engineer, I started this app out of my own, in the sense, like, not without any team. I just thought, like, okay, I can write an app and publish. But once I started working on that, I realized that this is, at least I can talk only for Magic Polygon in this particular case. So I felt like that really a team is needed for me to support. There are various things apart from app, like, if you take Magic Polygon into account, there are illustrators who play a major role, who all create pictures, and also authors, and the technology for example, live streaming is a core technology that we are using,
Hmm.
and we do both live and on demand streaming. There are only very few companies who does live streaming. As far as I know Peloton is doing. I know Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and all those things are there. But
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
small players, in small players, it's there are very few companies who do a real live session, in the sense, like, a stream is published, a stream is being watched live or something. So even Netflix mostly does on demand streaming. So there are a lot of challenges with that. And uh, um, and other than that, so I went, since I was bootstrapping, I didn't have the bandwidth to hire a full-time employee. So I went for a freelancing model,
Hmm.
where I usually engage with freelancers for a particular task. So I usually set up milestones, and divide each milestone into a smaller task. I don't create a big milestone and give it to a freelancer or something, because I also made a lot of mistakes in the initial stages by hiring wrong freelancers and
Mm-hmm.
not having a good contract in place and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
One example is like, I hired a illustrator freelancer. I did not have any contract or anything. I think I hired through one of the freelancing websites. So and later I learned that some of the illustrations that she created was freely available on the internet. So
Oh
I
boy.
had to throw them away.
Okay.
So I learned it at a very later point of time, after through another freelancer, that I was giving this as a sample. Then she asked me whether you took it from the net. I said no, I did not take it from the internet. So I told her it was customly created for MagicPolygon. Then she sent me a link saying, "See this." Then I was really shocked.
Yeah.
So then I realized the need to actually create a contract which clearly says that what happens if someone copies, because I cannot go and keep in track of every image in the internet to see whether it was copied.
Of course
So
not.
so so those are the things I learned. So
Yeah.
I got in touch with a lawyer and made a contract which says there's so many things. So I would say, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just ensure the mistakes are not costly. So instead of, when you're hiring someone new, just make one story or one thing from them and evaluate that, and you'll have enough time to figure out like whether they're a good fit, and then continue with them. That's what I have learned.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good tip for anyone that's doing a book. Making sure that that language is in there. We've got another comment here from Janani. Great app. This is what many parents are looking for. Thanks,
Thank you,
Janani.
Jenny.
Thanks for tuning in and watching the stream. So let's go into a little bit about, what are your thoughts as someone who is in this space, future of ed tech, future of literacy, how this new era is going to change things with our children growing up reading on digital devices, and not, physical books as much being a presence. Any thoughts on that?
Exactly. So I still feel that um, digital books and physical books both are necessary. And this is my personal feeling. It's my personal choice. I do think that digital has a lot of advantages and disadvantages as well. Say, for example, the screen time and all those things. But still, they both have to work together. It's not like one is going to replace the other one or something. Um, uh, Take for example, for a small kid, digital engagements are really nice to learn new things, like touching something and seeing a minor animation, not like continuously animating images or something. A minor animation which can actually tell what is happening and all those things. But still, books has its own charm, like touch, the texture, the paper feel, and all those things. So I would say like both are needed. But with this pandemic, what I felt is, there needs to be there is a huge gap, how the technology currently is catering to the children. So probably we have to look into more options to make apps which can work towards the creativity of a kid, along with how they interact with the physical world and digital world. It should be bridged. That's my thought process on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I still feel that physical books are equal, are going, both have to coexist. That's the feeling that
Mm-hmm.
I get. But a lot of innovations, and things have to happen on the ed tech, because the pandemic has taught us like the
Yeah.
need for a much more easily usable and engaging digital products are needed.
100%. It has taught us that one. Absolutely. Interesting thoughts. Okay, so what are some of the goals that you're working on now, Swarna? How can we support your work? What's
Exactly. One of the things that I'm working towards is moving towards schools and collaborating more with authors, because I want to bring in more content, and also I want to work with more illustrators to create more custom resources for the app, where actually the your kids can create their own stories using the digital content which is
Mm,
available in the app. That is something that is the most wanted feature from many parents and kids. So that is something we're working towards. But definitely, we want to create more content. So I want to collaborate with authors and bring in more content and spread the word, and more users as every every app or every subscription service looks for. So that's the
yeah,
uh, thing. So
absolutely. Well, I've got a couple illustrators I would love to connect you with, and we
that
definitely
would
want to get all of the Bootstrap Publications books on Magic.
exactly, yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
It would be. So this has been wonderful. Do we have any questions from people that are watching? Please chime in some questions for Swarna. Anything about her journey building this app, challenges that she's faced, how she feels about digital ed tech. Comment in those questions. Oh, we've gotten something. Let's see here. The app can be of great help to schools going students and should be used by schools to help grow children's imagination. 100%. Thank you, Sori, for tuning in and watching and commenting on the stream. If we have any questions for Swarna, let's get those in. We put up the Instagram for MagicPolygon. MagicPolygon Kid is there. What do you have planned for the rest of your day? It's a Thursday. What's the day looking like for you? Founder
Okay.
Thursday.
Today, my rest of the day is like I have another in-person event planned on Saturday. I have to do few preparations for that. It's being conducted in a coffee shop at Hoboken with another founder. So I have to plan a little bit for them. And other than that, spending time with my son in the evening,
Yeah.
and one of our neighbor is coming to our home today evening. So
Yeah.
that's the rest of the day. Like on work front, I have to plan for that event. On personal front, I have some friends are coming to our home today.
Got to balance it all out. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your day to chat with me and come on the stream. I'm really happy that we met and can continue to connect on this journey. Hello.
Hello, Nitin, come.
Yeah, come say hello to the internet world.
He wants
He's
to
shy
do.
now.
Yeah, now he's shy now.
That's so funny. Okay, well, keep in touch. Let me know.
Thank you so much, Miriam, for having me in your interview series. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And make sure everyone who's watching, get in touch with Swarna, follow on Instagram, and show support. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank